Hello, how's everyone doing? Oh, how's Kitty? Oh, 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 oh. Oh, I did knock him over. I thought I could, but you're a sturdy boy, aren't you? Today I'm going to share with you the excessive amounts of judgment that swirl through my head on a daily basis. Be prepared. It's way more than I feel is necessary. I notice it within myself. I'm very hard on myself. You guys should see me try and make a video. I turn on the video and I start talking and I'm like, I don't know how to talk. And I turn it off and I try again and I try again and I try again and I'm not good enough. And my self-judgment goes way deeper into my life than just when I'm making videos, but in many ways it is releasing. So I have faith in myself. In a year from now, don't give it a day, give it a year, change will happen. But what I've noticed is this strange judgment of other people and when it occurs. So I grew up with parents and an entire family, because the parents taught to the kids. Parents that judge the world around them. Things are kind of black and white between what's right and what's wrong, and they openly express their approval or lack thereof. As a child, I got a lot of unsolicited feedback in the form of what felt like judgment, and came to believe that this is how my actions were being perceived by the world. So I internalized that, and I suppose project that onto my world. I judge myself and I project everyone judging me, when in reality a lot of people aren't judging you. And the example that catalyzed this video made me think of that, what I just talked about, this projection. Because I'm getting to know this one person in particular more, and I used to really idolize them, but now I'm knowing them on a deeper level and seeing that they have flaws and kind of zeroing in on those and bringing them to light, like talking about them to other people. And I'm like, who the heck am I? Why? It's one thing to notice people's flaws. I think that we naturally do that because that's, again, how we were taught to perceive the world. Our parents saw the flaws in us and in the world and expressed that, and then we saw the flaws and we learned to look for the flaws and try to hide them from our parents so that we could avoid conflict, at times, and all these crazy things. I'm seeing this person's flaws, and it occurred to me that they're seeing mine. Maybe as I'm growing less in idealization world of this person, their view of me is also getting worse, rather than us growing closer. And then it occurred to me that what if this is all just on my end and they're just like, c'est la vie, life is life, you do you, I'll do me, and I'm the one that's judging and totally imagining that I'm being judged. In a way, me judging others is kind of healthy. Stick with me here. There's this Taoist principle, the middle way, and if you imagine a pendulum, I used to be swinging over here thinking that everyone was better than me in every way and not judging them. And then a big breakthrough for me was learning about victim mentality and so easily seeing it in myself and being able to release that. I've got a video on it that I think is fantastic. I'll link it in the video description box down below. So, victim mentality, I learned about that and I saw it in myself, and then I started seeing it in other people, in people that I put on a pedestal, and I was like, wow, look at that. Other people are struggling too. That was healthy for me because I was in a really extreme, I feel less than place, and it's gotten better. But now I'm getting to this side of the pendulum where I'm like, okay, it's ready to swing back this way a little bit because I don't want to be like my parents. That's my biggest fear. But I really don't want to judge other people and notice their flaws and zone in on that. So now let's see how we can spin it in a positive direction. But this is also a gray area too. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But someone that I met recently, I've talked about her in videos past. She knows about the channel, maybe she's watching. What she does is kind of wonders what people need. And instead of seeing people and seeing their flaws, she sees what they may lack and do better with. So if someone's stuck in this really negative way of thinking and interacting with the world, she adds positive outlook to conversations with that person. If she thinks someone is a little lacking in self-confidence, she gives them validation and compliments. And I think that's a nice way to counteract this perhaps natural talent that we children of narcissists have of seeing the flaws in the world around us. We can see them as opportunities. And why I say this is a gray area is we may be also natural at people pleasing and almost seeking validation through validating the world around us. Do you ever do that where you're not like, I need validation, but you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, you're amazing. Like, I love that, you know? Validating other people so that they like you. It's like a roundabout way of seeking validation. That's not what I'm talking about here. And I hope that you just get that, get the difference. And even if you are, get lost in this circle, maybe just like think of it in as if you're doing things this way. Turn this into something that you can do, a power that you have, to see what other people need and give it to them. Because we all know there are people out there in the world who are too self-absorbed to put themselves in other people's shoes, realize what they need, and give that to them. You know, they're busy living their own life. Do you know someone like that? Do you? So I shared a lesson that I'm going to try to adopt with you, but in all truth, this is something that I'm like, just kind of like, that's not so hot of a quality that you have, that you're acquiring, that's growing within you. Not that I'm a judgmental person, okay? I'm very open-minded and accepting of the world around me. It's more so as I get to know people, I'm like, these are little things. And a lot of it is like triggers for me. That I'm like, why aren't you more considerate? I want people to be more considerate and self-aware. You know, but maybe I'm too self-aware and considerate. So maybe I could learn from those people by standing more selfishly in my own space. The times when I judge are times when I'm being triggered by something that has to do with my past. So maybe that's another way to go about learning from when I'm being judgmental. These are triggers. And think, why are they triggers? And learn about them so that I can recognize them next time they come up, and instead of them being triggering, then be like, oh, that's why that happened, and have compassion for both myself and whatever it is that's happening that triggered me, and move on. Let it flow through my heart instead of get stuck for the next thing to then have to move through that, as well as my heart and everything else that has gotten stuck. Instead, it can just go, release. So I can move about my day without all that bleh. As far as self-judgment goes, I feel like the major parts of my healing journey have been guilt, and then I'll talk to you soon. Peace. And don't get me wrong, judgment is a necessary part of life. If everyone would just, hey, go with the flow, which is what I feel like society looks more positively on, no real hard changes would happen, at least not so fast. And you know, maybe they wouldn't have to happen because everyone could just be who they were without worrying about all these other judgmental people that do exist. I don't know. I'm not trying to get philosophical, existential here. I'm just saying